What it do, and welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Rundown, your favorite chat show hosted by yours truly, Jer Bear, aka Jeremiah, aka the pop culture maven, aka a spring queen, y'all. Y'all, it's finally above 70 degrees in NYC. We made it. We made it out of this crazy winter. Plus, daylight savings time came in clutch with this extra daylight, y'all. Like, I'm just in a whole other world. A whole new world. A new fantastic point of view. Sometimes I do be feeling like, ugh, I am sad that I missed my little hour of sleep, but I also love the sunshine, y'all. I love the sunshine. That's like my favorite thing in the world. So I'll take that. Here comes the sun doo-doo-doo-doo like the Beatles. And when I say everybody and their mama was outside today, y'all, everybody was outside today in Manhattan, which I love. That's the one thing about NYC. No matter what type of day it is of the day, no matter what day of the week it is, when it comes to the weather being great, when it's a good day outside, no clouds and the sun is out, people gonna be outside. So it's just so rewarding to witness, especially, you know, when you go online, you go on social media and all you see is the literal chaos of the world. Sometimes it's nice to kind of just like close things in a little bit. Just stay focused on where I am and live in my own reality and watch my little movie, which is reality. Just opening my eyes and seeing the craziness of what happens in Washington Square Park or Central Park or places in Brooklyn, because I'm trying to put y'all on and let y'all know that Brooklyn is where it's at, okay? But I've been doing my little lives on TikTok Live showing the world, the city. So y'all got to pop in on there and check in one day because they've been crunk. But speaking of reality, as promised, y'all, I had to come back with another Bravo episode for my Bravoholics because I got such high record downloads from the first one that I have to give the people what they want. I'm starting to realize that sometimes I be having stuff that I just feel like has to get out there to the world, but I'm like, sometimes people want to hear something else, Jabber. So let's give the people what they want. So I'm very excited for the topics today. I think we're covering about like 6 to 7 shows and just giving y'all the true tea, my perspective on the updates on the shows and, you know, where I think they should go, certain castmates I love, you know, all that jazz, similar to the very first one. So I really hope y'all enjoy this. If you haven't listened to the first one, make sure to go back a couple episodes and listen to the first one. But yeah, here are my updates on all things Bravo. First of all, I'm going to make this very quick because I don't want to give them too much time because they be aggravating me. But we got to start off with the Green Eyed Bandits of Potomac. If y'all don't know, Giselle Bryant and Robin Dixon, they have a podcast called Reasonably Shady. And I would suggest to watch a couple episodes if you are into the Bravoverse. But also at the same time, don't waste your time. These ladies do not do any research and be figuring out like their show topics live on air. And they record their stuff so you can watch it in real time. And it's just so peculiar to watch. It's like, do you not know you have a show? Always just spreading misinformation. Like, no shade, Giselle, but I can kind of see why your dad didn't leave some of that stuff in your legacy because the way you talk about some of the social justice issues, they were just talking about Jesse Jackson and was getting so much stuff wrong. But the thing is, when you have a public platform and you spread wrong information, people going to take that and run with it. That's how rumors always start. And now I see how. We see how in real time. But it also, in my perspective, keeps conversation or discussing the topic very one-dimensional because they spend so much time, the majority of the segment, trying to explain what's going on to themselves, not even us, the audience, but to themselves in real time to the point that they got to move on to the next topic. So they don't ever really like dig deep down. But to be honest, do they have much to say? Are they living up to their blonde stereotypes? I don't know. But my one note would be, please prep ladies. It's girlies like me who invest a lot of time, effort, and energy into bringing y'all that good. So I want to see them do the same thing. So we need that prep. And also, y'all better get on prep too. All right, we hopping in to the meat and potatoes. My current favorite show, I have to say, I love me some Summer House. I just do. Now, we already went on the tirade, bring back the black one. But y'all, until then, we got to just deal with what we got. And this season has been very good. And I can't tell if it's just because I'm enjoying the eye candy, because whoever the cameramen are, they know what they be doing. They be showing all the good, but beyond that, I have to say, I love that we have 2 new black folks on the cast. I see you, Bravo. I see y'all listening to the tweets and possibly this podcast, letting y'all know we need to see more diversity. And it actually reads like these two folks fit into the group really well. So Wes brought on a friend, KJ, who's a pro skater. He has a little cute, cool Midwest aesthetic. Also, Mia is from Chicago. She gives very cool, suave social media gal, which is dope. But yeah, they have great charisma, both of them. I mean, it's really cool to see, you know, eclectic Black folks just out there living their best lives. So shout out to y'all for holding it down. I also will say, I also love the two new castmates, Levi and Bailey. Like, they're kind of cute. Bailey reminds me of those quirky girls, probably from the Midwest or from a small town, that they want to try and fit in so hard with the cool kids, only to realize like their Luna love goodness. I love that adjective. That is their superpower. It's cool to be a chameleon and fit in everywhere. Like, I'm one of those people that I can do that if I really try. But my advice to her is to lean into her weirdness. There's so many people on this planet that like try to embody the spirit of like, quote unquote, the cool kids. And those people are not really the cool kids. They're the posers the majority of the time. So why not just lean into you, boo? But speaking of a cool kid, that bachelor from Australia, girl, Mr. Ben, yes. Whew. Now, y'all gonna hear this is the first time I'm gonna be kind of shallow and one-dimensional like the Green Eyed Bandits, but that's a cute little white boy. Ooh la la, girl. I need to just work for this production team because they kind of get it. They know what the girlies need, as do I, because I'm a consumer too, and I'm just liking everything that I'm seeing. But he also has a great spirit, which I support. So yes, shout out to Ben. Also, I love it getting a little international with the Aussie. So that was cool. But overall, I really do love the cast dynamic. I feel like it's super dope and relatable. There's always somebody in a show like this that, you know, you want to be able to relate to the most. And I feel like they got some really cool characters for this current cast. It's also getting me ready for the summertime, which, like I said, with this weather, when it being in the 70s, girl, got to get out the hoochie daddy shorts. Got to get out the coochie cutters. But my one note for the cast this season, y'all got to stop playing with my girl Sierra. Oh, I need to put her on like my muse board because one of the most beautiful humans inside and out. But her case is just so good because it shows you the reality of what men are in real time. Like, not the facade, not the stories that they tell you on social media. You get to see it in real time, how men are. At the end of the day, all they want is that nana. They can pretend that they value you. They can sweet talk you. They can do all these things. But I know a man at the end of the day. And we are experiencing how even the most beautiful creatures like a Sierra can get done over badly by these men. Because she's like a wild child, but she also has values and she's not putting out. And to be honest, men can only hold out for so long before they lose interest. If they're not getting the punani girl, then they're just going to seek interest elsewhere because of their desires. That's just how it is. And I hate that it is how it is, but it is what it is, you know, and we got to lean into that. Women, men, non-binary folks, whomever date men, just know what y'all getting into. Please. This is why the dating system, in my opinion, is so messed up, because it's very rare to have people on the same page with you about their actual true interests. Like, if you a sexaholic girl, the scarlet letter girl, wear that on your forehead. Please let me know what you truly want. But then the craziest part is the sexaholic boys, they don't want that with the girls. Because when there's sex positive women in the picture that align with those same men and want to do those same vibes, they're ostracized by society. Oh my goodness. Speaking of the Scarlet Letter girl, they're terrible. They're not real women. We have to be classy. You know, it's just all a hot mess in my opinion. So let's just keep it real, y'all. When we go into this dating pool or whatever, keep Sierra in mind on what she's going through the next time you'll be swiping on these apps with these boys. Lauryn Hill already taught us they only want that thing, that thing, that thing. Okay? But I will say I am happy to see some of the ex-couples kind of, you know, being friendly towards each other. We really don't get to see that on reality TV. Most of the time when the couples fall out, girl, they fall out. We got to sort of see it with Nene and Greg. That was really nice for them to kind of rekindle their flame. But I don't know. I love seeing Carl and Lindsay have a little banter here and there. Same thing with Wes and Sierra. It does give me hope that, you know, flames can actually be rekindled. And even if they're platonic, I love people coming full circle and coming back to each other. I think that's a beautiful message. But y'all got to watch out for it. And, you know, here comes another Jessie rant. But y'all got to watch out for the Jessies, the snakes in the grass, girl, just messing up the thing. Like, how are you going to want to make out with your bestie's ex? That y'all all still hang out around each other together. Like, what? He seriously doesn't take anything serious. And so it's so hard for others to take him seriously, even when he is serious. I sounded like that Noah Centineo speech. I think it was at the Nickelodeon Choice Awards. I know we already done talked about him, so I'm not going to spend too much time on Jesse, but it's just because my friends laugh at me because I definitely have a crush on him. But Jesse has so much potential. Like, he's tall, tan. But for real, he's well connected from Chicago. Like, he could mold himself into something so cool, but he's just so unserious with everything. So I need him to get it together, boy. Get it together and stop messing with the women's, or you can go play with other men that also get down the same way you do, because this is how the gay dating scene is. No shade. But speaking of queerness, I do feel that Wes is possibly bisexual. I definitely feel like he likes men. It might not be like sexually yet, or he hasn't gone down that rabbit hole with himself, but I do feel like he likes to get romantic with the boys. Like, he seemed very comfortable. It's a difference between being comfortable with your sexuality and then actually like genuinely liking something. He liked kissing the other boys, so kiss him more like Katy Perry. And like it. Carl too. Carl, we already know Carl got that sloppy toppy from a dude once. So if you did it once, you can do it again. But no, let's not judge, because people are allowed to experiment and figure out what they like. We always preach this, and women also get to do this. So let the boys do their thing. But I'm pro for it. Go experiment out there. Wes, you said you lived at Hell's Kitchen for that long, girl. So go back to them clubs and see what's gooey. Now, as for Kyle and Amanda, it's very clear that their infatuation stage with each other is finally evaporated, y'all. It has left them with a reality of incompatibility, because my goodness, they are complete opposites. We've been watching them do this. What is this? Season 8, season 10? They've been doing this for too long. Being in love and hating each other for too long for us to like realize their personality types, and they're just not compatible, in my opinion. I know Kyle has to be a smart man to like have his businesses and stuff like that, to even be able to coordinate his DJ gigs and stuff like that. He has to have some level of competence in his head, but he also just gives me dodo bird sometimes when it comes to relationships, like very oblivious to Amanda or the things that she's communicating with him. She can tell him clear as day what is upsetting her, which is like going out, staying out late. And then he'll come back at 4 a.m. like, do you not care? Are you not listening? Now, I will say in his defense, Amanda do be nagging a lot. Like, that would definitely annoy me too. But it's like, that's what relationships are about. That's what the relationship contract is. It's compromising to a point where you feel alignment with each other, not going against the current with each other. And that's what they do. Breakups, makeups, all that. But I really hope that, they know to keep their distance from each other, and they just need to move on with lives and let him be in his party boy era, because I really feel like that's what he wants. So, yeah, go watch Summer House. All right, we're going to switch on over to Cali. We're going to talk about these Beverly Hills diamonds. Diamonds are forever. This season has been, don't be mad at me, y'all, but it's kind of oxymoronic in a way, but it's been very boring, but also simultaneously interesting in a way. It's been very interesting to observe. It just seems kind of repetitive. So that's why I'm kind of in like this plateau standstill. But I will say I love these new cast additions. Maybe that's what it is. Like, I've just been so over a lot of the repetitiveness that when I get a new perspective or a new laugh even, it's just something that I love to enjoy. But I really do feel like the veteran castmates are starting to aggravate me. Like, it's starting with Kyle Richards. Like, this lady, her time has come to an end on this show. No shade. She don't even have a storyline. No movement outside of Mauricio or Aggravate and Dorit. That can work for 4 seasons, but we're coming into like the 8th or 9th season, especially now that she don't want to confess that she is a lesbiana. Then, girl, you got to talk about something else. The kids ain't in the house no more. You can't talk about, I got to drive the kids and pick them up. We don't want us to hear about the store. So what else are we giving? And another thing is, now that Dorit is single, she's ready to fire all the shots. Dorit gonna fire the shots at PK. She gonna fire them at Boy George. She gonna fire him at Kyle. And now she gonna fire him at that new girl. What's her name? Amanda. Yes. Yeah. Jared Barrett positive. Jared Barrett positive. Y'all see, I gotta coach myself because I'm just not feeling her, y'all. Now, Amanda, I guess she has a great TV persona. She has that figured out. I feel like she's someone that's probably watched reality TV a lot, so she has envisioned for her life what she would be like if she had this type of platform. But I feel like her storyline and how she communicates is stuck and suited for like 2014. She would have been a very great addition then, but it's kind of like it doesn't move me in 2026. I feel like her entitlement embodies or is due for a reality check. Like she reminds me of some of the people that I don't want to say they were a cause on why I wanted to leave LA, but it's just like being around them was just like it was a drag. But I feel like there are a couple of folks that could bring that reality check to her, them being Bose and Erica. Those are some real people that are cutthroat and they just gonna speak their minds and say it what it is. Also, Kathy Hilton, she might be able to help as well. I'm hoping when they head over to Italy, we get some more nuts cracked because she's just been doing a lot. Yeah, shout out to my girl, Dorit. Dorit has been in her spicy bag lately. She has been unhinged. She just been fired up. I know she still be practicing them confessionals, but I don't know. I kind of like this side of her. Everybody getting cussed out. And, I just kind of like that unhinged territory. Very New York, to be honest. Another unpopular opinion. I love Rachel Zoe. Like, she's so in her own world, she just chimes in so chaotically and randomly. And I just love it. On the show, she's going through a divorce. So I know, like, when people are going through that, they can only take it a day at a time. She just give me those ladies that love to sit out and drink wine and frizz their hair up, run their fingers through their hair. Just like, I'm so distraught with life. But she gives some great words of wisdom. Again, almost like a Kathy Hilton. I will say one thing about her storyline that I really appreciate that is her involvement with her kids. I love her kids. I think they're so funny and they give us great insight into what these baby alphas, that alpha generation is thinking, especially when it comes to sociology or even relationships. Like they be just straight to the point. Yes, I want this. No, I do not. When the littlest one clocks her, she said, you don't love him anymore when they got a divorce. Like we need to start believing in kids more or letting them talk more and letting them process their feelings and stuff out loud or asking the questions because these kids are definitely on track. Like they do what we don't do. We have built up this armor to like walk out into the world and play roles like the Fuji songs, The Mask, whereas the kids are just gonna say what it is. They gonna be upfront and they gonna say what they need to say like John Mayer. So I always appreciate that approach and I think that's something that we could learn as viewers and it's definitely from their generation. Riley Burrs is also really good at that on Next Gen NYC. She's a very quality communicator representing Gen Z, I'd say. So yeah, shout out to the kids. But overall, similar to how like Rachel Zoe is going deep into her own individual storylines, like I need more from these gals. Her story is an example of a divorce, but at least like I gave y'all the example of the kids, like that's breaking down the glass of what we haven't already seen before, but we have seen these storylines over and over again. So marriages, divorces, the parents dying, the parents lying. We got to dig deeper, ladies, or just go back. If we don't want to dig deep and don't want to get too personal, then just go back to the old days where y'all used to be super lavish, going on trips every other episode, eating your Caesar salads and your Cokes. Like give us, well, they was probably eating more bougie food than that, but that's what it gave. Like going to the Casablanca Villa in Beverly Hills, like, give us that. We always will watch lavishness. That's one thing America would love is watching the snooty people overreact about nothing. So no more of that. No more rinse and repeat. Come on, BH. Y'all can do it. Y'all been on air for a long time. Get it together, you all. Okay, we're going to do a little quick bit on, I tried asking my friends about this, but nobody has kind of responded back. But have y'all watched Southern Hospitality? At first, I was getting it mixed up with Southern Charm, I think, which is kind of a crossover with Summer House. But Southern Hospitality is kind of interesting. It's about like a bar/lounge area, and I believe in like North Carolina or Alabama, one of them Southern places. Then talk about Giselle done spreading misinformation. Here I go. But I think I need to get into the show a little bit. I watched a couple of episodes on vacation, but they kind of triggered me because someone on the show got fired. I think her name was Lucia or something like that, but she got fired for being candid and honest when they wanted to fire another castmate for drinking on the job. And she was like, you can't do that because everybody else be drinking on the job, including myself. And then the lady wanted to fire her to like make her an example. I don't like stuff like that. I hate how structure, especially when it comes to work structure, is always built on illusions and lies. And that's going to happen no matter what type of workforce you work in. Like it really aggravates me because this is hospitality. This is a bar. So this is not even corporate. But one thing about me is I refuse to be the safe pick. I'm always going to be someone like that girl who's going to call out the BS. So shout out to Shorty who got fired because at least she's standing on some morals. But then that got me thinking, I'm like, oh, well, they might keep her on the show maybe a little bit. So I need to go check it out. So if y'all watch your show, let me know, comment or something like that, to let me know if it's worth the watch. But I did like those a couple episodes, so shout out to Southern Hospitality. Here go another quick bit, Married to Medicine. I was kind of surprised that I left them off last episode, because although I don't watch their episodes weekly like I do some of the Real Housewives or Summer House episodes, when I do, I watch them in like marathons. I hate to say this, but I shouldn't hate to say this, because this is what I tell y'all to do. Do your laundry, wash y'all dishes, do what y'all got to do, but just keep your girl on in the background. But that's kind of what I do with Married to Medicine. And I will say their current season is pretty solid. My one piece of advice from the storyline that's like catching me the most, or something that I could relate to the most, is Quad and King. Quad needs to drop this man. Like, this man does not like her. I think he liked the opportunity of her being D-list famous and on reality TV, and that could put himself on kind of similarly. And I don't want to throw my girl Fantasia under the bus, but there's been some rumors that her current man that just re-proposed to her after 10 years of marriage or something like that, he's kind of like a little con artist or something as well. My black ladies, y'all got to watch out for these men's. They're so opportunistic, and I cannot stand it. So Quad, get rid of King. Dr. Heavenly got it right when she said, you don't need him, but he needs you, girl. And that is the truth. Please, y'all, I know love, affection, feeling that, because a man, girl, a man's such.
Woo, Troy.
I get it. But don't let these men play y'all, okay? Also, out of all the Bravo shows, I feel like the Married to Medicine cast has the most genuine chemistry out of all the casts. They brought on a couple like newbies here and there, but they don't really have to do that because they have a really strong bond, and I love that. Even if they don't even like each other, they understand that this is a collective and this is what keeps the seasons going, and they also understand each other's strengths and weaknesses and how to play off of all of that. So that's super important. To maintain an ensemble cast, you got to lean into this a little bit more, ladies, and the other franchises for like Real Housewives and stuff like that, they could really take a lesson in Married to Medicine's book. So yeah, y'all gotta, I would say prioritize a couple of other shows that I'm recommending, but if you got a lounge day and you want just some new, fun, interesting drama, and also dabble into the medical field and the dentistry field, then check out Married to Medicine. Shout out to my ladies. All right, y'all, where my peaches at? Moving to the country, I'm gonna eat me a lot of peaches. April 5th, y'all, we finally got a date of the new season, which I'm very excited for. I love me some Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. It's the OGs. I know that OC technically came out first, but I feel like Atlanta put Real Housewives on the map, and everybody needs to know that and understand that before they move forward in life. This is what they need to be teaching in history class, not me teaching a Bravo class at a university one day. Anywho, I'm very excited. Again, the theme of this whole episode, this is what I'm going to call it, new cast editions. I love the new cast editions. I'm very excited for this one as well. All of these ladies that they brought onto the show know how to read, especially from the previews that I've seen. And so this is going to be good. The only thing that they're missing, in my opinion, is Sheree. I feel like Sheree gives like such a coded way of reading. Even when she's talking about she didn't want to pull Kim's wig, she just wanted to tug it. I need my Sheree back, but you already know K. Michelle is going to give the girls some heat. I can already feel that. The only person that I am kind of skeptical about is this slutty vegan lady, Pinky Cole, just because she just gives me scammer vibes, for real, though. For real, y'all. I'm be seeing her selling courses and stuff on Instagram about how to file for bankruptcy, imitating Miss Rachel. And I'm like, number one, why are you advertising this publicly? Like, you shouldn't be putting your business out there in front of everyone, because it's not going to make you look credible or someone that has had a successful journey in your venture. So it's like, are you not trustworthy? You're not living by example of success. And then secondly, not everything needs to be commodified. That's one thing, especially in Black culture, but in American culture in general. Like, we always trying to sell each other information instead of just put each other on just because we want to see each other do better. That's one thing I loved about the 90s. Like, you could tell it. You could see it on shows like Living Single, A Different World. Like, there was different energy when it came to us as Black folks looking out for one another. And I'm so tired of y'all trying to sell me information for $19.99 that, quite frankly, ChatGPT could have sourced for me with the right type of questioning. You know what I mean? But I don't want to trust ChatGPT. I want to talk to my sister. So I don't know. Maybe she's doing this to pay back her former employees. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but a lot of them are still awaiting like final checks from when some of the slutty begins closed down. So, she just has some work to do to prove to me that she's like, about it. That's all I would say. I was reading in the comments, some people were confused, I guess, because Nene appeared on like a spinoff show, and they thought that Nene was coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, but she's actually on Ultimate Girls Trip, I think. I don't think that Nene needs to return to Real Housewives of Atlanta. If anything, just give Nene her own show. Like, I feel like her dynamic with others is great, and maybe they can do that on her show. She can have a couple lunches with like old friends like Cynthia, Sheree, etc. But she's definitely paved the same way I just ranted and raved about, Atlanta putting on Real Housewives. Nene put on Atlanta in a way. Give her own show for a couple of seasons. Give us 3 seasons. I feel like by then she'll get enough money to kind of want to go do her own thing again, but we'll also get enough doses from her that was so well deserved after these, 8 years that she hasn't been on air. Kind of same with Candy. Her family is also going through some interesting stuff. So it would be kind of cool to see. Well, that's one thing about Candy. She know how to secure a little special. We could get a little candy coated nights. We could get a candy coated 3-part special. Now that she's done with Ann Juliet, which, come on, Candy. Candy is a producer on Broadway and a Broadway star. She trying to get that Tony girl. She trying to get that EGOT. I love me some Candy. Did y'all see Baba Joyce on TMZ? I have never seen that lady so happy in my life. Mama Joyce was just sitting there smiling, just overjoyed. That's that feeling when you told the whole world something and then the whole world know you was right all alone. You ain't got to do nothing. You could just sit there and smile and be at peace. So shout out to Mama Joyce. But I might do weekly episode reviews on the Patreon. That's what I'm thinking about when Atlanta debuts, because Patreon will be launched by April. So we might do that. Let me know if y'all interested in that. I also don't want to waste my time because it is limited and there's so much I want to give to y'all. So y'all just let me know what to do. But yes, very excited about Atlanta's return. And I know the lady's going to bring me some heat. Let's go, Atlanta. All right, y'all. We got the Potomac. Okay, so I will say the finale was pretty decent. Not as crunk as like previous reunion episodes, but there were a lot of like cute, shady moments and a lot of cute social media moments. Good clockable moments. I kind of don't understand why Karen was at the reunion. Like, she already had her one-on-one with Andy, and he already grilled her very well, I might add. So she got brought out just to cast judgment on other people that she wasn't even involved with the whole season. Like, maybe, but they were kind of talking about her too. So she got her chance to defend herself too, I guess. Out of all the things that Karen did say, I will agree with her comment about how Wendy is talking too much. Like, my girl does need to kind of be quiet. We as viewers, we are very nosy people. I get that, especially with social media. We always want to be in everybody's business. But Wendy, we don't need to know all your business, boo. Like, you don't need to justify anything to us. If anything, it's like towards your family, to the courts, the people that actually truly matter. Shout out to Stacey. Come on, first chair princess. Now, I will say, my girl do be lying, y'all. They did catch Stacey in quite a few lies, However, Stacey is playing that game, and I feel like that supersedes the lies. Stacey knows how to do reality television, and that's why the girls are envious, because they want to be able to role play the same way she is genuinely doing. I love it. Like, she got Ashley together when she said, indeed, when Ashley was questioning her about her authenticity. This is authentic Stacey. She knows how to put in her subtle, quirky points while doing that whole QVC performance vibes. Like, I don't know. I just love it. And I also love how she clocked Kay. Kay was calling Stacey aggressive, but meanwhile, Kay has been like one of the most argumentative castmates on the whole season. Make it make sense, y'all. I could see if Mia was still there, it wouldn't be as noticeable. If Monique, season 4 Monique, was present and not this kumbaya Monique that we got, it would be different. Shout out to Monique, though, for bringing that binder. Shout out for the binder for being a special guest. But this cast is very like subdued. Even Angel, like her way of reading is very sitting on the porch in the 1940s with a fan. You know what I mean? And the producers always come through with flashbacks. So Kay, like, you got to work more on. Actually, she don't have to work more, though. We already discussed this on the last episode, too. Friend of the show stamp. Boom. You are crazy, Jermaine. I will say, though, y'all, I am praying for my girl, Wendy. She does have her court date pushed back till May. So we will be seeing the outcome of this. Not necessarily for Eddie. He dismissed his right to a speedy trial. So this could be going on for months to years, girl. But her court date is in May. This whole situation just kind of pains me, mostly for the kids, because this is the thing. People get so caught up with trying to keep up with the Joneses, y'all, that they get blind spotted to like future outcomes, like the potentials, the bad, the ugly of what could come out of this. They don't see it because all they have is their eyes on the prize that's alluring them to whatever direction that they're taking. And some of these repercussions not only affect them and themselves, but their children or their family members. And it's only after it happens and when they have these reality checks. So I'm sure the kids know that they love them and that parents want to do right or whatever. But I also know that this is how like trust issues and, just family dynamics just start flaring because of incidents like such. So I hope that they really realize this. I hope they hopped into that therapist chair as a family real fast because they definitely gonna need it. It seems like everyone keeps speculating on all the blogs that Eddie's gonna be taking the fall, which, hey, as a man of the family, since y'all love patriarchy, sure, go ahead. But I don't know. I just feel like Wendy should definitely have a different approach on how she moves forward in life. And they definitely need to be prioritizing their family because y'all already know Eddie family don't even like Wendy to begin with. The whole world been calling them witches. Now we got to add frauds, scamming to the resume when she's a doctor, Dr. Wendy Oselfo. Like, this is not how it's supposed to play out. But like I said, y'all, we shall see. And speaking of we shall see, when doing my little outline, I didn't realize that we was going to be ending on such a somber note. But I don't know. Maybe we can find a silver lining in things because that's my motto in life, glass half full. But I do want to give some love to our girl, Mary Cosby from Salt Lake City. It's been a couple of weeks since her Pride and Joy Robert Jr. passed. And they do say time will heal all wounds. I like that saying, y'all, but this wound kind of punctured deep for all of us as viewers. So I know Mary just gonna need a lot of time to just breathe and just take it day by day, y'all. But one thing's for sure, my silver lining and Mary's story and Robert's story and why they're even on this show, the bigger picture, is their transparency about subjects like addiction, substance abuse, mental health, family dynamics, family trust, love. All of those things, how to exist with one another going through all of this is such a true representation of the actual reality of what folks go through in this country. The real America, you know what I mean? And I think that's why a lot of people were able to latch on to this so much. It was a wave of shock throughout the whole Bravo community when this happened. So my heart goes out to Mary. I know her family and stuff, they're going to overcome all of this, but I hope they understand like that impact. That's why they were on this show. She probably didn't know when she signed them contracts 8 years ago that this is the impact or the legacy that is going to be left. But I hope that she sees that as a positive legacy at the end of the day. Her impact, her sharing this story is going to help. It's going to tell a mom or a friend or someone to go reach out to that person that they know that is struggling or just shift some outcomes that could be the same as the unfortunate events of her son. So shout out to my girl for being so, like, she will go down in history for being so vulnerable. So I just want to shout out my girl and just send some love and peace her way. And someone said in my comments, I did a video about this, that they can understand if she doesn't come back for the next season. I think she's going to come back. I think she will. Mary's so, I don't want to say dry, but she's just so to the point that she might need something like this to continue spreading her message. So shout out to my girl, Mary. But yeah, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed my perspective on these Bravo shows. Y'all know I am an expert. I'm really practicing, y'all. As a host, you can't be too long-winded. So I'm trying not to like do too much, but still give y'all my true perspective. Some of my listeners are telling me that I need to expand my repertoire into Beyond Deck. We shall see. Y'all know they be boring to me. And to be honest, Bravo needs to bring back Family Karma, girl. That should be the conclusion. Where is Family Karma season 3? My boy Ambry, they already adopted their baby girl. We need an update on that. We need that boy that's married to that girl that is gay. What's his name? Vijay? Not me making up names, girl. We need an update on him. Like, they need to bring that show back. That was a real good show. What I will not be watching is The Valley Persian style. Bump Reza, bump all them self-hating, orange man loving cast members of his and him. Y'all will never be white, no matter how hard you try to assimilate. I really hope that as a person of color, that you could learn to create a new path, gather some sense, and come on over to the logical and sound side. But until then, y'all can count me out on supporting any folks like that want to pretend like they better than others, when in reality, girl, we closer to you than you are to them white folks. They about to set me off, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and log out of this episode. Y'all can see the sunshine. I love y'all so much. If you enjoyed this episode, please, please, please give me a follow, a share, a subscription. We really appreciate it. I got content on all of the platforms too. So if you love YouTube, you love TikTok, you love Instagram, please go check me out on those platforms at The World of Jer. But I appreciate y'all. We're making some waves. I'm going to be going to a couple of podcasts and conventions this spring. So I'm hoping to get some movement with this, but I've been really enjoying the feedback that I've been getting so far. So I love all y'all that take time out of your day to listen to your girl and my crazy, wacko perspectives. I hope it brings you joy, peace, love, happiness, and hopefully you crave more because I'm ready to just unleash the beast in this 2026. So shout out to y'all. Shout out again to daylight savings time, girl. I'm about to go twist again because, girl, the sun is still shining, girl. Typically it'd be pitch black by now. This is crazy. But I love y'all and thank y'all for listening. And I will see y'all next week. Holla.